For more than 2 decades, Arsenal were one of the most respected clubs in world football. They played beautiful football, produced legendary players, and under one man they even went an entire league season without losing a single game. But football never stands still. And after years of decline, confusion, and painful seasons, Arsenal became a shadow of what they once were. They finished 8th. They missed Europe. They lost their identity. Then in 2019, the club made one of the boldest decisions in its modern history. They hired a young coach with no managerial experience, a former captain, a student of Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta. What followed was not an overnight success. It was a slow, painful rebuild, difficult decisions, young players, cultural resets, near misses. But now, years later, with a squad in its prime and a complete tactical system, Arsenal are no longer rebuilding, they are ready to win. Arsenal fans, if you believe the Gunners will lift the Premier League this season, drop your thoughts in the comments below. This is the full story of how Mikel Arteta rebuilt Arsenal. Chapter 1: The Invisible Era. When Arsene Wenger arrived at Arsenal in 1996, English football was still rooted in tradition. The game was physical, direct, and often predictable. Training methods were old-fashioned, diets were rarely controlled, and tactical systems were far simpler than what we see today. Wenger brought a revolution. He introduced nutrition plans, sports science, technical training, and a style of football built around intelligence, movement, and quick passing. Within just 2 years, Arsenal won the Premier League and FA Cup double in 1998. Over the next decade, Wenger built some of the most exciting teams English football had ever seen. His greatest achievement came in the 2003-04 season. Arsenal didn't just win the Premier League, they went the entire campaign unbeaten. 38 games, 26 wins, 12 draws, 0 defeats. At the heart of that team was Thierry Henry, one of the greatest forwards the league has ever seen. He combined pace, skill, intelligence, and ruthless finishing, scoring 228 goals for Arsenal. Alongside him were players like Dennis Bergkamp, whose vision and first touch were legendary, and Patrick Vieira, a physically dominant midfielder who could carry the ball, win duels, and lead the team. In 2006, Wenger led Arsenal to their first ever Champions League final. They conceded only 2 goals in 13 matches on the way there, but in the final against Barcelona, the dream slipped away. Arsenal took the lead, but 2 late goals from Barcelona ended their hopes. Still, Wenger's consistency was unmatched. From 1998 to 2017, Arsenal qualified for the Champions League every single season. But behind the scenes, the club was changing. In 2006, Arsenal moved from Highbury to the Emirates Stadium. The new stadium gave the club long-term financial power, but in the short term, it meant strict budgets. To balance the books, Arsenal sold many of their best players. Thierry Henry left for Barcelona. Cesc Fabregas followed. Samir Nasri went to Manchester City. Robin van Persie joined Manchester United. Between 2006 and 2013, Arsenal generated over £300 million in player sales. They remained competitive, often finishing in the top 4, but they no longer looked like title contenders. By the mid-2010s, the gap between Arsenal and the top teams had grown. In 2017, Arsenal finished 5th, missing the Champions League for the first time in 2 decades. A year later, Wenger stepped down after 22 years in charge. He left with 235 matches managed, 716 wins, a win rate close to 58%, 3 Premier League titles, 7 FA Cups. It was the end of an era, but what came next would be far more uncertain. Chapter 2: Unai Era. Replacing a manager who had been at the club for 22 years was never going to be easy. Arsenal chose Unai Emery, a coach known for his success in European competitions. Before arriving in North London, he had won 3 consecutive Europa League titles with Sevilla and had managed Paris Saint-Germain. At first, there were signs of promise. After losing his first 2 matches, Emery's Arsenal went on a 22-game unbeaten run in all competitions. The attack looked dangerous, especially with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette forming a strong partnership. Aubameyang was one of the fastest forwards in Europe, with elite acceleration and instinctive finishing. He scored 22 league goals that season and won the Golden Boot. Lacazette complemented him perfectly. He was strong in tight spaces, excellent at link-up play, and technically sharp in front of goal. Together, they scored 35 league goals. By the final stretch of the 2018-19 season, Arsenal were in a strong position to finish in the top four. But then came a collapse. They lost 3-0 to Leicester, then 2-1 to Crystal Palace, then 3-1 to Wolves. Arsenal finished fifth, just 1 point outside the Champions League places. Their last chance came in the Europa League final against Chelsea. But the game turned into a disaster. Chelsea won 4-1, scoring 3 goals in a short spell that exposed Arsenal's defensive weaknesses. From that moment, confidence dropped. Emery kept changing formations, sometimes a back three, sometimes a back four, sometimes a diamond midfield. Players struggled to adapt. Defensively, the team looked fragile. In the early part of the 2019-20 season, Arsenal conceded 23 goals in just 13 league matches. They went on a 7-game winless run. In November 2019, after a home defeat to Eintracht Frankfurt, Emery was sacked. Arsenal were 8th in the table. The club had lost direction, and they needed something new. Chapter 3: Arteta's Era. In December 2019, Arsenal made a bold decision. They hired Mikel Arteta. He was only 37 years old. He had never managed a professional team, but he had spent 3 years learning under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Arteta and Guardiola shared history. They had both played at Barcelona, and Pep respected Arteta's intelligence and understanding of the game. When Guardiola became Manchester City manager, he brought Arteta in as his assistant. From 2016 to 2019, they built one of the most dominant teams in English football history. In the 2017-18 season, Manchester City scored 106 league goals, reached 100 points, won the Premier League in record-breaking fashion. Pep later said, "Mikel will be an incredible manager. I'm pretty sure." In 2019, Arsenal gave him his first chance. When Arteta arrived, Arsenal were in chaos. Confidence was low, the defense was disorganized, and the team lacked identity. Arteta focused on structure first. He introduced a 3-4-3 system that made the team more compact defensively, and then came the FA Cup run. In the semi-final, Arsenal beat Manchester City 2-0. Arteta out-tacticked his former mentor. In the final, Arsenal faced Chelsea. Aubameyang scored twice, and Arsenal won 2-1. Arteta had delivered a trophy in his first season. 2020-2021 season. This season was about changing the culture. Arteta made difficult decisions. He dropped players who didn't meet his standards and eventually stripped Aubameyang of the captaincy after disciplinary issues. Arsenal finished 8th, with 61 points. But the rebuild had begun. Young players became the foundation. Bukayo Saka emerged as a star. He scored 10 goals and provided 6 assists, showing elite dribbling, intelligence, and work rate. Emile Smith-Rowe and Gabriel Martinelli also became regular contributors. The identity of the team was changing. This was the first true Arteta squad. Arsenal signed Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale, Martin Odegaard, Takahiro Tomiyasu. The average age of the squad was just 24.3 years, the youngest in the league. Arsenal played aggressive, high-pressing football in a 4-2-3-1 system. For most of the season, they were in the top 4, but late defeats to Tottenham and Newcastle cost them Champions League qualification. They finished 5th, painful but full of promise. 2022-2023 season, Arsenal shocked the world. Arsenal started the season brilliantly. They led the league for 248 days. Bukayo Saka scored 14 goals and added 11 assists. Martin Odegaard scored 15 goals from midfield. Arteta's system was clear. A 4-3-3 shape with inverted fullbacks, high pressing, and quick positional rotations. But late season draws against Liverpool, West Ham, and Southampton allowed Manchester City to catch up. Arsenal finished 2nd with 84 points. 2023-2024 season. Arsenal responded by signing Declan Rice for $105 million. Rice brought defensive intelligence, ball-carrying power, leadership, big game mentality. Arsenal conceded just 29 goals, the best defensive record in the league. They pushed Manchester City to the final day and finished second again, this time with 89 points. The team was no longer a young project. It was a serious contender. After 2 near misses, Arsenal identified 2 key needs, a dominant striker and a controlling midfielder. They went on to sign 2 good players. Victor Gyokeres, a powerful forward known for aggressive pressing, direct dribbling, physical duels, clinical finishing. In his final season at Sporting, over 40 goals in all competitions, high shot volume, strong pressing metrics. He gives Arsenal something they lacked, a true penalty box presence, a striker who can occupy defenders and finish consistently. Martin Zubimendi, a deep-lying playmaker with exceptional positional awareness, press resistance, calm distribution, tactical discipline. He brings control to big matches and allows Declan Rice to push forward. The midfield balance becomes Zubimendi, the controller, Rice, the engine, Odegaard, the creator, a complete trio. For years, Arsenal lived in the shadow of the Invincibles. They remembered the past while searching for a future. But Mikel Arteta didn't come to remember. He came to rebuild. From 8th place to FA Cup winners to title contenders, every season was a step forward, and now everything is aligned. The squad is in its prime. The system is complete. The belief is real. After years of patience, pain, and progress, this is not just another title race. This is the moment the rebuild becomes a reward. This is Arsenal's season. Remember this moment, because this could be the year Arsenal rise again. If you believe this is the season, if you believe this team is ready, if you believe Arteta has built something unstoppable, then say it with confidence. Arsenal will win the league.